Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello friends, this chapter of class 12 history is based on the great Indian civilization, which is also known as Indus Valley civilization. Before to come inside the chapter, we must have to know about that or focus on that this civilization was one of the world's earliest urban civilization. Although many of the facts, like its language, its literature, its culture, is still not deciphered by the archaeologists. But its unique feature is depicting about that this civilization was a very rich and one of the oldest civilization of the world, and which lasted near about 5,000 years. Some of the important sites are there which has been excavated by the archaeologists. Not only Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, these two were the twin cities. First site was the Harappa, which was excavated, but other than that also, many of the sites were there. Among them, many of them, they are lying in even our country also. They are Lothal, it is in Gujarat, Dholavira, Rakhi Gadi, Banavali, Kot Diji. These all are the important sites of Harappan civilization. Can also say the Indus Valley civilization. So let's begin the topic. Come to the next part of this chapter. What it says that it is also known as Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization. As it is the first site, so it is known as Harappan civilization. They started flourishing along with the river Indus. This is about the Indus river. Now this river is in Pakistan, not in our country. Till 1947, before the partition of our country, this was the part of our country, but now it is in Pakistan. Then it comes about Harappan civilization was the largest Bronze Age civilization. This we must have to know about that. What is Bronze Age civilization? What is Bronze Age civilization? Bronze Age means that we can simply say that bronze is an alloy of what? It is copper and tin. It is an alloy of copper and tin. Then it is known as bronze. Earliest civilization, before that, if we compare it with that, the ancient civilization, before that the civilization started, there were different categorization has been done by the archaeologists, by the historians, like Paleolithic age, which is also known as the Stone Age, then New Stone Age was there, then Mesolithic period. After that, it has been started about that Chalcolithic. Chalcolithic means Copper Age. Chalcolithic, this is simply means that Chalcolithic, Copper Age, where copper was available. How it was available? It was a great mine inside our country, only in the Rajasthan area. In the latter part, it is given also about the Khetri mines of Rajasthan. So this Harappan civilization is also known as Bronze Age civilization because this alloy was actually discovered, or it was invented by the people, might be for their pottery making, for their jewelry making, for their art and crafts production work. So such way they were using this bronze for their own purposes. The facts is not available. Means that we can say that it is not been deciphered. Then next, it is very interesting. Here in this map, 4 different civilizations are shown over here. Among them, Harappan civilization is also. All these are Egyptian civilization, Nile river. Nile is the longest river in the world. It is a longest river in the world. Now also, This was the also civilization. This same time period when in our country we were having Indus Valley civilization, also known as Harappan civilization. The same time period Egyptian civilization was also flourished along the river of Nile. Then next it is about Mesopotamia. This is present day Iraq. Present day what it is? Republic of Iraq. And this civilization also flourished along the two rivers. And we cannot say that Mesopotamia, this means only, this word is in two parts. Mesos means between the two. Between the two, Potamia means river. Potamia means river. So what it says? Mesopotamia means the land between the two rivers, which was known as Mesopotamian civilization, flourished in between the two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris. Present day, it is Republic of Iraq. Now coming to the most important, which is in our country or before independence, it was the part of the Indian subcontinent, the one of the most important civilization of the world, not only of our country, of the entire world, which flourished along the river Indus and Saraswati Valley. Then this is the Chinese civilization. It flourished along the Huanghe Valley. So these are the four civilizations. Examples are quoted. All they are flourished during the same time period. But among them, Harappa, which was considered, or still it is considered, one of the most important and the unique civilization of the world, and lasted for near about 5,000 years. This is now India's first civilization. As in Mesopotamia and Egypt, early civilization in India and China emerged in river valleys. Same way, everywhere, Mesopotamia, Euphrates and Tigris, Egypt, just now we discussed about that, the Nile River. In our country, also India, Indus Valley civilization on the bank of river Indus, China, Huanghe. So this is about that, the civilization. Everywhere in the world, if you try to study, to go for the research work, there also you can find it out that all the civilization or the early civilizations, they developed along the river valleys. The valleys of the Indus River Valley, they supported a flourishing civilization which extended hundreds of miles from the Himalayas to the coast of the Arabian Sea. Means that if you look at the map of India or Indian subcontinent as a whole, so Indus River, its origin is in Himalaya, Mansarovar Lake, and there onwards it enters in our country through Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, and then crossing the Indian territorial boundary, it reaches to Pakistan. And after this, naturally a river is there. After they are flowing, they must have to merge somewhere. So in the westward direction, it merged in the Arabian Sea. This is the history, or we can say that this is the process of the drainage system. Anywhere in our country, most of the rivers, whether they origin from Himalayas, whether they origin from some of the hills, or whether they are the rain-fed rivers, once they origin, they have to merge either in eastward direction or in the westward direction. Eastward direction, Bay of Bengal is there. Westward direction, Arabian Sea is there. So this Indus River also, as it originates from Himalaya, crossing Indian territorial boundary, enters Pakistan, and after that it merges in Arabian Sea. This is the figure also, this map is given. According to this, the archaeologists have discovered more than 1,000 settlements in this region. Now directly we are coming to discuss about that, the settlement. So this is The pink color is actually given the most important centers of the Indus Valley civilization. More than 1,000. What this? They are archaeologists. What they are telling that? They are telling that more than 1,000 settlements are there in this region. But among them, how many of they are very important? The two major cities. They are very important. They are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. These two are very important cities. That's why this civilization is also known as Harappan civilization, and the twin city, and the second followed by Mohenjo-daro. This is now Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Directly now coming to this story about that, the discovery of the cities, the number of people, how they were living in these cities, and what type of that, the planning they were doing. Chapter is name only given, bricks. So first of all, we are coming to discuss about that human settlement, the types of the archaeology, the types of the architectural planning. The archaeologists, they are trying to find out the facts about the architectural planning of the cities. So what material they got after the excavations, they collected after the excavations. So what it is that at its heights, Harappa had 35,000 inhabitants. Inhabitants means 35 inhabitants means that the living places where the people they were supposed to live. And Mohenjo-daro, little bit something extra they have. Just after the excavation, they found that that much of the architectural planning or that much of the number of houses was that 35,000 to 40,000. But most important thing is that both these cities were planned very carefully. Planning was done, architectural planning was very important. Why this civilization? Just now we saw that the four civilizations, they flourished the same time period. But how this Indus Valley civilization or Harappan civilization is unique among them. So they were planned very carefully. Most of the buildings were constructed of mud bricks and they were baked in oven which were square in shape. Not like that the rectangular. If you recall these days, if you have seen any of the building construction of these days, rectangular shape of bricks are there. But in those days, what they found, it was square shaped. And some of them were mud bricks, some of them were this baked in oven. Then the construction. Now, very important thing, what we are coming to discuss is about that construction. Construction was on the grid pattern. Grid basis means that they have a complete architectural planning. Geometrical planning is been done. Other than that, in these buildings, not only that they were planning to give the shelter or to plan the houses, they also think for that the public wells. Public wells were constructed in such a manner inside the house. It has not been constructed in the courtyard or the outside the house, but inside the house. It has been constructed in such a manner so even though the passerby can also avail the facility. If suppose they wanted to draw the water, they can also fetch the water from that well. So this way the planning was so advanced, and this was only made this civilization very, very unique in the world. Harappan civilization was the first of these civilizations. Among all the civilizations, it was the Harappa city was first discovered by the archaeologists. But one thing is very disappointing with this civilization is its writing is still not deciphered. The archaeologists, they are not able to read the facts, whatever it is engraved or left by the Indus people or left by the Harappan people. Time period is already mentioned, that the archaeologists, they are depicting that 2600 BC to 1900 BC. Most of the sites were abandoned after the 1900 BC. BC means before Common Era. This means this is before Common Era. These cities were abandoned. By 1900 BC, major part of the civilization were ended. In the later part, we will discuss about that. What were the facts? What were the reason behind it? Why this civilization has abruptly abandoned? What happened? Why the civilization has ended? So nicely it was flourished. How nicely it was a very unique civilization. But what happened actually? Sudden, what incident took place on these sites? And this was completely demolished, completely abandoned. This is now coming to this period of Harappan civilization. What is the time period actually mentioned? So these are the years. The facts means that we do not have any written records, and whatever it is been found by archaeologists is not able to decipher. This is the time period is mentioned 2600 BC to 1900 BC. And this period of civilization is broadly divided into three categories. The three different phases. What are the three different phases? This is the early Harappan culture. Early Harappan is considered as this, the 2600 BC and before that. Before that, prior to that. Second, between this 2600 and 1900, this is known as the mature Harappan. Mature Harappan culture. And after the 1900 BC, this is known as the late Harappan. Whatever the facts, improvement, technological advancements that took place very much in this time period. So there are three different phases of Harappan culture. Early time period is mentioned before 2600 BC, mature Harappan culture 2600 to 1900 BC, and the late Harappan culture is after 1900 BC. Then coming to discuss about that some of the important sites of Harappan civilization. Because every site, what we are coming to discuss is having different importance. Some of their sites, they were practicing the agriculture. Some of the sites, they were doing the art and craft production work. Because of that, the archaeologists, they found the facts about that. Not only that, the beads and the art and craft, but by getting the findings of the waste material also, they are depicting about that, how the things were been constructed, how the things were been prepared or manufactured by the Harappan people. So different sites, the people, they were having the different types of expertise. So this is the most of the sites it is given is found in our country, and many of them, they are in the Pakistan. Kalibangan, Lothal, Rakhigadi, Dholavira, Rupar, Harappa, Ganeriwala, it is not in India. Harappa is not in India. Chanudaro, it is not in India. Sutakandor, it is not in India. Mohenjo-daro is not in India. Amri is in India. Balakot is in India. Kot Dizi, Rangpur, Nageswar. So most of the sites which is mentioned in our syllabus is related to our country. So this is the map actually given. The entire Pakistan, Afghanistan. Afghanistan, one site is there in Afghanistan also. We will discuss in the later part about Sartubai, where the canal system was developed. And as well as when we will come to discuss about the art and craft production work, then a different type of a stone, lapis lazuli, is also been brought from here, Afghanistan. Then this is the entire Pakistan. Mehergarh, this is here. Then can imagine about that. This is the Harappa. This boundary is the Indian boundary. This is the Indian mainland. This is the broken line is the Indian mainland. Mohenjo-daro outside. Then the important we are talking. This is the Côte d'Ivoire. Thar Desert is here. Ganeriwala, whatever it is. Then this is Harappa. Kalibangan, it is inside the Indian territorial boundary. Rakhigadi. Banawali is not mentioned over here. It is in Haryana. That is also very important Harappan site, which is also very important. And many of that, the technology and the art and crafts production work took place over there also. Then it comes about that major developments in Harappan archaeology. 1857. Now we are coming to discuss about that the contribution of the different archaeologists. First of all, the report which has been submitted by Alexander Cunningham, which was on the Harappan seal. What he studied about the Harappan seal. Harappan seal, where the different motifs were engraved on that. Somewhere it is found on the metal, somewhere it is found on a clay tablet. John Marshall, he also announced in 1924, after 1875, 1924, after a very long gap, John Marshall announced the discovery. What is the Harappan civilization? His announcement came about that this is the unique civilization of the world. Then in 1925, excavation was done in Mohenjo-daro. 1944, R.M. Wheeler, he became the Director General of ASI. This is Archaeological Survey of India. What does this mean? Archaeological Survey of India. So he has become the first Director General of ASI, R.M. Wheeler, R.E.M. Wheeler. In 1946, R.M. Wheeler excavates at Harappa. Then it comes 1955, S.R. Rao, he begins excavation at Lothan. Then 60, B.B. Lal and Thapar, they began the excavations at Kalibangan. Then 74, can you imagine, since 1875 till the 1990, the different archaeologists, they have started excavations, explorations of different sites, and they are collecting the different facts from all these sites to give that the idea about that in the year between the 2600 BC to 1900 BC, what type of the civilization were flourished in our country, what development and advancement were followed by these people. So these archaeologists, one after another, started by Alexander Cunningham, followed by Marshall, then R.E.M. Wheeler, S.R. Rao, then B.B. Lal, everyone. They excavated the sites, they explored the sites, whatever the findings they were collecting it from there, they tried to give lots of idea about that human existence, their lifestyle, how they were constructing their houses, the religion, the culture, system of administration, how it was followed. Early archaeological cultures, already whatever it is, the three different periods are mentioned by the different archaeologists, the early Harappan civilization, the mature Harappan civilization and the late Harappan civilization. So there were several archaeological cultures in the region prior to the mature Harappa. Mature is 2600 to between the 1900 BC. That period is considered as the mature. This is what is written mature. Time period is 2600 BC to 1900 BC. This is known as mature Harappan. Before this, it is early. Before this, it is known as early. And after this, it is known as late. So what it says that these cultures were associated with the distinct pottery. How it has been associated, how the time period has been divided, the facts which has been excavated. After the excavation, whatever the remains they found, accordingly, these archaeologists, they were dividing it into the different time periods. Different types of the potteries were used by these people. Then evidences of agriculture, system of the plowing of the field, the types of the plow they used, the different kinds of the animals which were used, and naturally what were the seeds which were found on the earth in their settlement. Pastoralism was also there, means that wherever they are getting the pasture, domestication of animals were also there, because lots of the findings were there. On the seals also, they were depicting or engraving the different animals. Somewhere it is Barasinga, deer, then oxen, bull. Other than that, crafts production is also there. Now we can correlate that. The name of the topic, bricks and beads. So this is the craft production. It is related to beads. We can correlate the topic now. This is the most important is given over here. The settlement were small in size and had no large building. This is what we are talking. We are talking and discussing about the mature Harappans. Settlements were small in size, means that the large houses concept were not there. And the number of houses were also less. So it was written also there. There were the difference. 35,000 settlements inhabitants were there in Harappa, and in Mohenjo-daro 35 to 40,000. So there were no findings, no evidences were found of the large buildings. So small settlements were there. Then comes about that subsistence strategies, because this settlement or this civilization, what we had discussed or what the archaeologists are giving their ideas, their view about that this existed near about the 5,000 years. So next it comes about that subsistence, how to sustain their life, how these people, what were their strategies for their sustainability of life, how they sustain their life. So here in this topic we are coming to discuss about their strategies. What were their planning? This topic is only based on that, the planning, architectural planning, then administrative planning, agricultural planning, craft production. Everywhere they have planned in a very well manner. Subsistence strategies of people, including hunting and gathering. This was also, even though they have planned for the hunting and gathering also. Then second was followed by cultivation. Pastoralism means how to go for the pasture, to arrange the pasture for their domesticated cattle, sheep, goat, cow, and the distribution, whom to give the duty of this, the different kinds of work. Then people relied on many plants and animals. They have, as they were living in the nature along the river valley. If you find out the settlement, it was totally, completely greenery veiled. Plenty of water were there. So naturally, plants and animals were also found over there. So direct hunting was also done by the people for their living. Fishing also was very common. Because of that, the civilization flourished along the river, and river was full of the fishes. So fishing was also one of the most important part of their food habit, because in many of the sites the fish bones are found. And finally, the people, when they have started their agricultural production, because this civilization is also considered as the copper age civilization. This is bronze age civilization, means that the different types of the tools were now the people they have started using for the cultivation of land. Bronze age civilization means a complete settled life, and life is started settling with the new stone age only. New stone age, when the people have transformed from the nomadic life to the settled life, then it is known as new stone age. And gradually copper age, also known as chalcolithic age, and this is the gradual development after chalcolithic, copper, bronze age civilization. Then iron age is also there, but this chapter is based on that, the bronze age civilization, because bronze was used by the people in a very frequent manner. Then it is there are evidences of bones of animals. Bones of animals. Again, little bit I am going back to explain you that the name of the chapter, bones, is also there. Bricks, beads and bones. How bones are also helpful to the archaeologists to find out what type of the animals were found. So bones of evidences of bones of animals, which prove that people consumed meat. This is the bones. By this finding, archaeologists now they have started depicting that the people were consuming meat also. These bones were found, so that gave them the evidence of that the fish was also in their food habit. The same way, the animals' bones were found, which gives them the idea about that they consumed meat. Terracotta models of oxen, then plough, that show that the people relied on agriculture. Not only that, the hunting and gathering, pastoralism, but cultivation was also very important for the Harappan people, because this we are talking and discussing about that the mature Harappan site, the mature Harappan people, which is completely comes under the Bronze Age civilization. And this civilization, they have started agriculture in a very planned manner. They have developed the concept of canal system, irrigation system, then cropping season, sowing season, then harvesting. Everything was now developed. Next, it comes about that eating habits. Before this, just now we discussed about subsistence strategy, how to survive. Now, the people, how they have developed their food habits. Are they only depending upon the nature, or they have started cultivating the different types of food items? So nicely it is explained and broadly explained. Harappans ate wide range of plants and animal products, including fish. Because just now we discussed about that, this bones of the animals and the bones of the fish are found on the different sites of Harappan civilization. So the same way, they have a wide range of plants and animal products. They also use wide range. Then the food grains such as wheat, barley, lentils, chickpea, sesame, these are also found on the Harappan sites. These are the examples which is quoted over here is wheat, barley, lentil, chickpea and sesame. Then in Gujarat, they have what it is that millets have been found. Now also Gujarat is having a wide variety of lentils cultivated by the people, or can say that the land, the soil is fit for the cultivation of lentils. Even can compare that in early civilization also it was like that. Now also the soil is fit for that cultivation of lentil. But rice, as the most important staple food of India and Indian subcontinent, was found rarely. It was not available. Bones of cattle, fish, fowl is found as a bird. Sheep, goat, buffalo, pig, deer, bear are found at the sites. So now the studies indicate that these animals were either domesticated or hunted by the Arab, because the evidence of the domestication was not been found. So it is indicated that the archaeologists, they were telling that might be they were only hunted, hunting was done for their meat, for their food, or might be they were domesticating also all these animals. So that way the complete evidence about the domestication is not been available. After strategy, food habit we discussed, now agricultural advancements. What makes this civilization very, very unique in the world? So this advancements will tell us about that, how it was practiced, what type of the new technology was started by the Harappan people. So what it says that agriculture was the main occupation of the Harappans. It was the main occupation. The prevalence of agriculture is indicated by finds of grains. How these archaeologists, they are telling that, how it is available? Because of that, the findings of grains were there. The different kinds of grains were found, like wheat. Just now we discussed the rice was found rarely. It was not found on most of the sites, but in rare cases it was available. But this agriculture was prevalent because lentil, barley, wheat, those grains were found in a very common way in many of the sites. So it is very difficult to reconstruct actual agricultural practices carried out by the Harappans. So it's very difficult to say that how and what type of the crops were grown by them, and what type of the, how they were doing the cultivation, what type of the tools were used by them. Terracotta sculpture of the bull and their representation on the seals. Bull was there, oxen was there, but where they were found? They were found on the seals. Evidences were not found in the agricultural fields, but their images were depicted on the seals, which indicates that the bull was known to them. From this, the archaeologists assume that the oxen were used for plowing. So this is on the assumption basis. What it says that this is the plowing was done with the help of the oxen, because their pictures, evidences they found on the sea. Then it comes about that archaeologists, what they found on terracotta models of the plow at sites in Cholistan and at Banavali. Banavali in Haryana. This is the terracotta model of plow was found. Oxen and the bull images were shown on the seals. But in Cholistan and in Banavali, terracotta model of plow was there. So this is the two sites which is very important where the model of plow was found. Evidence of plowed field which is associated with the Harappan levels, they also have found at Kalibangan. Plow fields were found at Kalibangan. This is a site in Rajasthan. Then what type of the different things which is also found over there is the field had two sets of furrows at the right angles. Now the technology starts to each other. Right angles. This is the right angles. and suggesting that the two different crops were grown together. Not only that, they use the technique to plow their field, but simultaneously they grow the two different crops. Most of the Harappan sites were located in semi-arid regions. So to enhance agricultural produce, they needed facilities for irrigation. This is also very important to understand. This is the semi-arid region, means not very fertile. So they need irrigation, lots of water for cultivation.